Hi, you guys. Good evening and warm regards for me to you. In case you're wondering why I am smiling, I am all blushy. I'll tell you. So, I'm going to be telling you today how I fell in love without even knowing what love was, right? And now that I have conquered anxiety a little bit and procrastination, I am doing this video today and I hope that I post it. I hope it will not end up in my gallery like every other video that I do. God help me. So this was back then around 2012. And please, if you are a Kanti person, if you are from Kanti, if you are a Kanti girl, woman, child, whatever, stick right in because you might help me in one way or the other. Please stick right in, okay? Stay with me. So this was around 2012, around October ending or so. I was supposed to start secondary school. This was my first year. It was my first year in secondary school, right? And usually around third term, because this is third term, around third term time, my mother and maybe us, my father sometimes travels to Babisi, where my grandmother was based, to farm because my father had bought a piece of land there. When my grandmother went there, we discovered that the land was very, very fertile, and where we were based wasn't that much fertile. So my father bought a piece of land there where we cultivate in large quantities, right, for sale, and we eat some. Because my mother was into agriculture, she would cultivate in large quantities, pay people to cultivate the one she can, and then after that she sells it. So yeah. So around that time, we had traveled to Babisi. We had traveled together, all of us. We had traveled to Babisi to cultivate as usual, and things didn't work out as my mother had planned it. She had planned that we will be back in Jakiri, where we were based, by say before end of October, so that we can prepare for my school stuff and all those type of things. But unfortunately, someone failed her and she could not finish whatever that things that she had to do before that time. So she had to send me first. She had to send me to come, and I think it was to measure my uniform and to get books. I can't remember exactly, honestly, but she sent me first. And she sent me to Mami Binta. And that's why I said Kanti people should stay right in. If you're from Kanti, you're going to certainly know who Mami Binta is. She sells at Kanti. You know those many restaurants at Kanti? She was one of them that used to sell at Kanti. Yeah. So Mami Binta, if I'm not, was it her? I think, yeah, Mami Binta, right? Yes. Yeah, she was a family friend. And my mother had spoken with her and told her that I needed to get back and get some things ready before she will be coming back, right? So they arranged with her and everything was cool. I travel and I come to her house. She was all nice to me. I wanted to stay in the restaurant because it was just a different kind of like experience for me. I had never, and where I went to my primary school, it was a village compared to Jakiri, right? It was a village, and Jakiri was a little bit opened compared to where I went to my primary school, which was at Vekovi. In the evening, she tells me to go be with her kids in the, like, it was like the back of the Kanti behind the restaurant, something like that. And I go there. She had like a few people around. I don't know if everybody was her kid, but it was not a long time for me to know who was, right? So there were these two guys that I can remember perfectly. One was Haji. His name was Haji, and the other one, I'm sorry, I cannot remember his name. The Haji guy, God, see, there is something about Muslim guys or Muslim people. Like they have their own kind of unique beauty, unique cuteness that I don't get it. Like this guy's been mesmerizing me like, fam, you people are fine. And their own kind of fineness is different. Like you can tell when you see a Muslim person, you can always tell that, no, this is a Muslim girl, like this is a Muslim guy or Muslim girl, right? Like they are fire when they want to be fine. Don't play. They are fine. Do you understand? So that time I was still very young, and I think I was 12 years old. Yeah. I think. I was still very young. I didn't even know what love was or what relationship kind of thing where I was not into all of those things yet. Of course, who would be at that age? I didn't know what it was, right? Even though back in school they used to call me whose wife. There was one guy that used to call me his wife, and I was so angry at him so much. And then I just remember one kind of story like that, one funny story. I'll tell you guys another time, hopefully. So, this guy, he was so nice to me. He was so cool to me. And then we are sitting in the parlor, right? Like in the parlor, in the sitting room, and getting ready to eat. And for me, I was tired. I was tired from traveling from Babisi to Jakiri. I was like exhibiting signs of dizziness, of tiredness. And this guy, he was sitting just beside me. He just gently let me lay on his laps, right? He just gently let me lay on his lap. And then I slept like on my back on his lap while facing him. Do you understand? Like my back was on his laps and then I was facing him. I was looking at this guy and I was so mesmerized at his beauty. Like he was so fire. He was so fine. I didn't even know what. I just knew that. Yeah, I just knew that what this guy I'm looking at is fine, right? Not like I had any feelings. In fact, I can't tell, but I just knew that this guy was fine, And I was like, did I say crushing on him? I don't even know, because did I even know what crushing was that time? So I was crushing on this guy, and let me say so, I was so happy. I don't know. I just felt at ease. I just felt so calm, so homely. Like it felt like home, Like this is someone I've never ever met before. It was my first time seeing him. It was my first time experiencing something like that with an opposite gender that is not my family. Do you understand? Like a total stranger. That was my very first time experiencing something like that. So it was so strange to me and new and mixed reactions, mixed feelings. I didn't even know. I can't tell how I was feeling exactly back then. And I just wanted to be there. I just wanted to not go home. I just wanted to stay there, So I am there. We are all chatty. Even though I was not chatting that much because I didn't really know anybody, I was just enjoying the moment, looking at the work of art right in front of me, and I was so mesmerized. I was so like, Jesus, So fast forward the next morning, I don't know where the Haji went to. I can't remember exactly. It was the other guy now that I was talking about. He was still very tall and huge, and he took me to this nice restaurant. If you are from Jakiri, you'll certainly know this restaurant. Do you remember where Mr. Kum's bar was? Mr. Kum, our vice principal from GBJA. Yes, he was our vice principal, right? Was it discipline or vice principal? I can't remember. His bar, you remember where his bar was, right? There was one restaurant up on the first floor of that building. There was one restaurant that he took me there. Again, this was my very first time experiencing anything like that. That is not from my family. Yes, my father used to take me out a lot since I was the first child. Like, again, I was not living with them. I just lived with them for a short time. I think class 1, class 2, class 3, I think, something like that. And then I went to stay with my grandparents. So yeah, I was used to always going out with my father. Sometimes we would eat somewhere in a restaurant, but not with a complete stranger, right? This was a complete stranger, and it was different for me. He took me to this place, and I can remember exactly what I ate. I ate dole and plantain, which was very nice, and he was telling me, it's okay, eat your food, you can eat and add more if you want to. It's like, I don't know, I can't tell exactly how I was to me, but I just knew that it was nice, right? I felt like so people are this nice out here. Like, I was just so welcome. It felt so homely to me. And then I went back home, and this Haji guy was nowhere to be found. He was not around. I couldn't see him. I was praying. I remember this one. I was praying, hoping that he would come back before I leave, but I didn't see him again. And I finally left to our home. And of course, if it was now, maybe I would still try to go to visit that woman. hoping to see him, that kind of thing. But back then, I didn't even know what it was or what to do. I wasn't aware as much as I am now. So yeah, when I went back home, when I did the things I needed to do, and my mother came, and I went back home with her because she came like I think 2 days after or so. I can't remember exactly. And then I never ever saw this guy again. And then one time I go to shave my hair, and the person at the barbering salon is this Haji guy. I'm like, is this not Haji? Is this not the guy, the mesmerizing guy? He's the one. But then he acting all like different. Do you get? He was kind of like cold when I met him. That's in the barbering store. It was a little bit kind of cold and not as welcoming, or should I say, I don't know, but I don't know what I was expecting, but he was not just the way I wanted it to be. And I just went with the flow, just got my hair shaved, and then I left. But then I was happy that I knew where he was shaving. So I was like, okay, anytime I want to shave, I'll come there to shave my hair. I come there the next time, and this guy is not there. He's nowhere to be found. I'm like, is this guy some spirit? Like, he just appear and disappear. I didn't see him again, and I never ever saw him for a very long time. From this time, I never ever saw Haji again. If you are from Kanti and you're still watching this, tell me, do you know this guy? Do you know this person I'm talking about? Do you know him? Like, where is he? How is he doing? I think maybe he's married, probably married now with kids. And Haji, if maybe you're the one who comes across this video, who knows, a big shout out to you, and thank you so much for the kindness that you showed me that day. May God bless you abundantly. And the other guy, I'm so sorry that I can't remember your name, but a big shout out to you. You guys were great. You guys were so nice. And from that time, I just loved Muslim people, to be very honest with you. And I love the way they live their life and stuff like that. In fact, story for another day. And guys, if you know Haji, please help me say hello to him. That one girl like that from somewhere, somehow is greeting him. It's asking how he's doing. Hope he's doing fine, and is greeting him and saying, Baba, you're a good person. So, Haji, if you're the one that comes across this video, or your wife, I say hi to you in good faith. I may know, don't reason anything deeper to this. This is just me sharing an experience, something that happened to me in the past. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna be putting up so many other stories. I had a crazy childhood, like it was mad. I'm going to be sharing some of those stories and many other things. So do not forget to like, subscribe, or follow me wherever you see this. Okay, if you see it on Facebook, follow me. If you see it on YouTube, subscribe. If you see it on Instagram or TikTok, follow me. Like and share, and wait for more. I love you guys. See you in my next video. Mwah.